Hello and welcome to TLRS Discussion Podcast number 4. In this podcast we will be discussing Hellblazer, The Original Sins Volume 1. We discuss the first 2 books, I believe, in the Hellblazer Volume 1 graphic novel. Enjoy. So,
I do like the fact that.
what would you say? What would you say about the introductory book, Hunger?
Oh, for me, it was. I'll be honest. When it started, I wasn't too sure about it, hanging a lot.
Yeah, I was the
The
same.
fact you got a big fat dude shoving burger in his face, and it got nothing explained about it. Just
It throws you
There is
into
hunger.
it. Yeah.
yeah, nothing. No sort of backstory sadness, and then going through the restaurant trying to eat the woman's leg and all that sadness whilst losing weight.
It's a bit like Monster of the Week used to be, kind of thing in Fringe. I don't know if you
Yeah.
ever watched Fringe.
Yeah, I love
And it
Fringe.
would start off with like the random monster or whatever doing something. So it throws you right into it. I
I like
guess.
that.
Go on.
I like the fact that it's actually very graphic as it sounds, if for a
It
graphic
is.
novel. You could see the more he's eating, the less there is of him.
Yeah.
Especially when he's trying to eat the woman's leg, or he's got his wrinkles around his chin.
It's well drawn.
Yeah. I like the style, because it's a all prim and perfect computerised. You can see the sketchiness of it.
Yeah, that's what I like. I like to see that it's an actual drawing and that it's got sketchiness, rather than
Mm.
complete perfect computerized graphics. That don't interest me as much.
What did make me chuckle is when you see the enter kill van.
Mm.
You look at the square, you see the enter kill. You see him, you see the 2 boxes, and you try to literally get into his apartment. He actually even acknowledges the fact the rent-a-kill van was outside.
I know.
That did make me chuckle.
It is good. I think it's a bit weird, the possession kind of thing of a giant fly monster. I think that's a bit.
Oh yeah. I think the bit that threw me the most, just because I was expecting at the time, I think it was page 18, where the little tribal kid,
Yeah.
where he pulls all the insects out of him through the skin, you see his body arched with the blood and all that.
Yeah. Very
I'll
strange.
be honest, that threw me, because on the very next page, you don't see the body, you just see the hand with the blood dripping bright red.
Mm. It is a
And
bit
that,
strange. I mean,
Yeah.
coming from the perspective we've never read Hellblazer before, we know
No.
very little about John Constantine's character apart from what we know from the film.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't read Swamp Thing editions where he first come into existence. So you jump into your first book and you're trying to find your feet a bit. I think you're trying to think, well, okay, how is this working? Because I think when you read something like Wolverine or Watchmen or something like that, and then you jump into this, which is a completely different format, completely different style, I think it takes you a while to get used to. You think, what the hell's going on? This bloke, he's doing a ritual. You start off, okay, this bloke's eating food and he's getting thinner and he's dead. And then you've got this magic ritual and he's sucking these flies out of this kid and putting them in a bottle. You're a bit like, whoa, it knocks you for 6 a little bit, I think, to begin with.
I mean, for me, the thing is, the character Gary, all through it, I have no sympathy for him up until the end, where
Yeah, I was the same.
all was after was that quick fix of heroin. If I remember correctly, that was his
But
drug
then
of choice.
when you realise that he's got to be sacrificed,
Yeah.
you do feel sorry for him.
I mean, it ain't no one square wonder sacrifice thing, is it? Because it's literally over the 2-page thread.
Mm.
you just see gradually the flies taking over,
You're watching the flies
flies,
eat
then
him, and
just engulfing his body swelling, and
it seems very painful.
yeah.
And I think there's a touching part where Constantine says something to him like he never understood, but some people just can't be helped. But it was in like a sympathetic way, if you know what I mean.
Which is a good fact. We stayed there till the end, like till he actually died, and all the ghosts told him to fuck off.
Yeah, that's a bit weird as well with the ghosts.
Talking about the ghost.
Yeah, the ghost, I found that quite
I
weird.
thought you were talking about a goat.
Because
Oh,
you're thinking,
Alright.
is he actually seeing ghosts? Or
Yeah.
is it just his subconscious playing on his mind because of his guilt from obvious previous events that have happened?
Yeah.
I don't know.
The thing that got me is I think her name was Emma, I want to say.
I think it was.
But when you first see her, is in colour and all that.
Mm.
But by the end, it's like all the rest of the ghosts, pure white with just the shading.
Yeah.
Looking after Gary, who was literally just turned into skin and bones.
Yeah, it is Emma. I just got the page here where he was like, what did he say? It's a big bed I could do with some company, referring to a dead ghost. That's showing a bit of his personality right there.
Yeah.
But he's obviously plagued by his guilt.
It does make me laugh that all the ghosts turn him in the end of the book, literally just ignore him.
Mm.
Can't work out why Gary's ghost put the straight jacket back on.
Skip to page 57.
John Constantine, Hellblazer,
Right.
India.
Yeah. We are talking about Hellblazer, Original Sins, Volume 1. We're talking about the first book, which is Hunger. And we shall continue our discussion at page 57. Right, what was I going to say? I found this page to be quite baffling because...
Where did this fist first?
Yeah, that was the first thing that caught my eye. I know you're supposed to read from left to right, but as soon as I turned the page, I thought, what? Why is his fist in his mouth? That is very strange.
I mean, it's purposely, it's purposely done to draw your eye to it, literally, because it's bright pink in the corner with just the red of his mouth.
Where you've got all the rest of the page is quite like mellow, and then you've got the red blood at the bottom corner, and it's like, whoa.
Because when you actually look, you've got the flies flying through the city. The image of the child, I assume was the one that was sacrificed.
Yeah.
There's the one, I'm assuming the bodybuilder that's got their needle in his arm. All day through his exercises, posing, flies entering him and eating himself.
I thought that took me aback a bit, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
What else can we say? We get to see that club. I'm not sure what it's called, but that club, and I think it's the same club that's in the film with the big.
I think it was called Midnight, with his two zombies. Big black zombies.
Midnight, yeah. He's cool.
I like him.
He seems quite a good character.
Mind you, when you first see him, you think he's the evil bloke in it because he's just sat there with a skull.
Yeah, but I think in the movie, I don't know if it's got any relevance, but in the movie, he was famously he wasn't siding with either side. You know what I mean? He was neutral.
Because on page 30 was the first time we actually see him, I believe.
Yeah.
You don't actually see him till the third square. You just literally see him picking a skull up, talking to it.
Yeah, which is weird.
Which is, you don't see him again until... Well, not properly until actually...
It does kind of introduce him. You expect him to be some kind of super villain from that page, because he's holding the skull.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, okay, this has got to be the bad guy who's behind this possession thing with this fly bug.
Yeah.
But then it turns out that he's not. I think that's quite cool. Overall, I think it was an interesting. I failed to mention that we was actually discussing the first two books. I hadn't noticed that. The first book was called Hunger, and the second one was called A Feast of Friends, and it's like a two-parter. So one follows the other. I never realised. Overall, what did you think about the first two books?
I mean, the first two really gripped me, I'll be honest. I'm interested in reading the rest. Oh, it really pulled me in. I mean, the bit that, gotta be honest, that made me chuckle the most is something I'd expect the to do if I ever did it. Oh, hang on, if I'm on the page. Go,
I find it funny is that you two were not part of it.
Right, leave his voice in it. Let's see if they can notice if anybody ever listens to it. Oh, Joe, page 42.
42.
All you see in the background is that woman in the blue coat running, but you promised I hate you thing.
Yeah.
It goes over to a bloke. Who says, I want to eat fresh blood sort of thing. And all you see, it made me chuckle the horses, but you were a vegetarian. Just made me chuckle them.
I think it was funny, and I think Constantine's face was quite funny on the image
One
at the
below.
bottom, because he's like, oh, what's going on? What the hell is going on here?
Just as it goes to tackle that big pig thing.
I think I should also mention that I really like how British it is.
Yeah.
It's very British, the way that they talk. They say, you alright, mate, and geezer, and things like that. I think that's nice to see, because we tend to read and we tend to watch a lot of American programs. It's nice to see some proper British.
I also like the fact that although you see bugs all the way through, have they realised that the main big villain itself would be a massive fly?
I know.
You know what I mean?
It's like it's manifested into one. It's got bigger. It's grown as the story's progressed.
What I was expecting sort of stuff like from Memeth, or what do you want to call it?
Yeah, I don't know how to say it.
Memeth or Meneth.
Meneth, whatever.
Yeah. I was expecting for some reason I was expecting like humanoid sort of shape thing, but instead you get a big fly.
It's strange because normal possessions you tend to get like some kind of humanoid shape with a demon coming through with horns or something. But not in this case, it's a giant fly with a massive snake-like tongue. I think that's quite cool.
I do like it as well because you've got Midnight, who's got two big, muscularly bald
Dead people.
zombie fellas
Yeah.
that Sean might be into. The only thing that threw me is when you got page 52, when the nun just shows up followed by the bloke in the hat and glasses.
Yeah, the ghosts.
Okay, I understood the one ghost, Emma, which is in here as well, but who's suddenly just gone pure white.
Well, obviously, I'm trying to give you some kind of peek into his past, into his guilt.
Yeah.
But they're not really giving on too much. I suppose you might find out a bit more about that in later stories, I'd assume.
I'm hoping that to explain each ghost and why in there. I mean,
I reckon that they've just given you a taste of his past with it, really, to get you to understand that the character's a bit conflicted. He's a little bit, quite a lot guilty about events that have happened in the past. I think he's trying to give you some insight into his psyche.
yeah. I think it does show to be a perfect character as well, because until he started the ritual, he's realised, he got the bottle to trap the spirit, which means he's still got to sacrifice Gary. And
Yeah. which he feels
You know,
bad
he-
about, but he knows it has to be done.
But he's still a bit of a dick about it when he does do it.
Yeah, that's his ways. It's like he's guilty and he feels bad about things, but he don't show it.
Mm. I mean, like, all he does really in the end is literally just give him that last fix, put him in a cage, wait for him to die. All Midnight bricks it up.
For him to have a brutal death.
Where he just literally starves to death from the inside out, sorry.
Yeah. But overall, intriguing. It was probably a good introduction, you know.
Mm.
And I'm looking forward to talking about the rest. The second book. The second
So we
book is
can-
better. I know you haven't read it yet, but it's quite good.
I've got a few pages to
The
it, I
third
believe.
book, I should say,
called-
because it's the
The
third.
third book, I think, I believe it's Going For It.
Yeah,
I believe it's.
it's got political sides to it of the time. With
I don't know if
it was the
part of the.
Thatcher
Yeah.
era, so you've got a political side to it, which is quite interesting.
I don't know if the first 3 pages, 71 to 73, are part of the other book, because it don't really give you the title till 74, where you get to.
No, it's like
Going Forward.
it gives you a little intro before.
Yeah.
It's like if you're watching a television program, often you'll get a little intro into the episode, and then suddenly the titles will come on. You know.
I do like the fact that each part of the world it's been taken to does have its own look to it. I know, okay, it's been based off the parts. Like, but you can tell by the way it just seems to have been drawn differently in different styles for each part.
Yeah, the art is very good. You know, it's
Because for the American bit, it's all clean, crisp buildings.
yeah,
Whereas you go to Africa, I believe it is.
yeah,
What I do like is, I found it, page 24, it's like, literally, everything just revolves around being a pink, orange, or red background. With literally them colours,
it's quite intense.
red with yellow.
It's quite intense because it's old-fashioned. I think he says it's like old, crude magic. So everything's a little bit more intense. And he takes on the following page. You've got him taking the psychedelic drug during the ritual, and he takes his the witch doctor type guy takes his eye out. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
And you've got all splashes of pinks and yellows and different colours, and it's all blending in together, and you've got his face with his eye missing. I think that's brilliant art, I really do.
I do, and I think the one in England or London,
Yeah,
the way it's actually drawn like, to look a bit more scruffy and all that, literally for the brickwork and all that.
yeah.
Just gives it more of that sort of depth to it,
It
literally.
does, because you've got completely different textures, different colour schemes for different parts of the world, and I think it makes it easier for you to move around in the world as you're reading it.
Yeah, it seems to make it easier to differentiate between where you are.
It's building a better mental framework for you.
Yeah. I mean, that confrontation between him and the monster we call say the name of,
Nemeth.
Mammoth. In fact, he thinks he's ready, then he turns till the ghost tells him to run. Realises, he's nowhere near ready, to strong enough to take it.
And is the ghost real, or is it a manifestation of his subconscious?
I mean, he hangs out just long enough to watch the priest get swarmed, and you don't know if what happens to him. All you see is the priest stand up and look like he's about to devour a wooden Jesus on a cross.
Yeah, you know, you pretty much know what's going to happen to him.
I mean, tell a lie, I just spotted it. It's literally tainted. It goes to bed. A couple of days later, you just see a picture at the end of it of the priest pushed under a cross.
Mm.
Look, it's dark.
It's quite deep.
Mm. Oh, Bobby, I just wonder I know what the backstory of this bloke on page 68. The white ghost, the one with his middle finger up at Constantine.
Yeah, I'm quite interested in that. He's got like either a police hat or a railway type hat on.
Yeah, with a long hair.
Mhm.
He has got long hair, judging by the last picture of him on 70.
Mm.
Just as Gary joins the
This is
ghost
intriguing.
crew.
Hopefully, in later stories, that we'll find out a bit more about his past.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that's about it for the first two
Aye.
books. Look forward to discussing the next one with you.
Mm-hmm.
Case closed.
It's the TLRS discussion. It's the TLRS discussion. It's the TLRS discussion. It's the TLRS discussion, yeah. It's the TLR, the TLR, TLRS discussion, baby. It's the TLRS discussion.
I like
TLRS discussion, baby. It's the TLRS discussion. We can talk about camels and everything. It's the TLR, the TLR, the TLR, the TLR, TLR, discussion, TLR, discussion, TLRS discussion, baby. It's the TLRS discussion. It's the TLRS discussion, babe. It's the TLRS discussion. Totally ludicrous, ridiculously sexy, yeah.